Hello my friends, Chris here from Cards.n.Colors. Today we will be talking about the Telluric Tarot. This is an indie deck, so it's not available or not a mass market release, but you can get the deck through the creator, Lunaria Gold, and her Etsy shop. And I will put a link to her Etsy shop below in the description box. So you get this sturdy box, which is lovely. Lunaria Gold. It's not a magnetic box, but a simple box, but that's okay. It comes with a very nice handbook with very big color pictures of all the cards. And I even got a nice postcard here, which is lovely. So, and then the cards themselves inside of the box. As you can see, the cards are black with a shiny gold gilding on the edges. And this is a deck that features crystals and plants, flowers or herbs for each of the cards of the tarot. Though they are bonus or additional cards here, first one being this one, with the lemniscate or infinity symbol, and then we have the 0 for the Fool and so on. But in each of the 4 suits there is an additional 0 card. So instead of 14 cards per suit, we have 15 cards per suit here. So all in all there are 5 cards here, which adds up to 83 instead of 78. But the system behind this, well, for anyone who has some knowledge of tarot and the structure of tarot, this is quite easy to understand. And you can use all the 85 cards, or maybe feel free and just use the 78 cards from your traditional deck. As mentioned before, there's this lovely guidebook with a lot of text for each of the cards, and the text features a description of the crystal or stone, a description of the tree, plant, herb or flower, and then a meaning and also a reversed meaning if you use reversals, or maybe a shadow or blocked message. There is no further information in the book. So I wouldn't really recommend this deck for a beginner, because there's nothing about the structure of tarot, there's nothing about, well, trumps and minors and some sort of general explanation here. There's even no description of how to read or spreads or layouts or anything. It's just the description of the cards with the beautiful pictures. And I will explain the structure, because instead of an index, there are different suits here which do not directly follow the traditional suits that we are used to from the tarot. So the major arcana, the trumps, are called the suit of the soul. And there you get your 22 cards plus the infinity card here, the 0 in a way. Then there is the suit of emotion, being linked to the cups. The suit of drive, being linked to fire and wands, I would suggest or guess. The suit of the mind, being air and swords. And the suit of the domain, being earth and pentacles, coins, discs, or what have you. But these are just my suggestions, and from what I have read in the book, sorry, and the experiences I have with using the deck, I think it is, as mentioned before, the majors: cups, emotion, drive, wands, mind, swords, domain, pentacles or discs, but it's not explained in the book. So if you wouldn't know your traditional tarot structure and the elements and suits, you would be totally lost here. Or maybe, well, if you want to use this more like an oracle, though it's called a tarot, you could do so and just ignore the correspondences to traditional tarot and just say, okay, there's a suit of emotion, there's a suit of my drives, there's a suit of mind, and there's a suit for the soul level, and so on. But we will be looking at the connections with the traditional tarot archetypes, energies, and how Lunaria Gold combined them with crystals, stones, and plants. I have to say, as you may know and hear, I'm not a native English speaker, so some of the plants, the names, and even some of the crystals, maybe they will be pronounced incorrectly, but I guess we can manage, and they are written on the card. So just to give you an impression of all the cards here, we will start with this card of eternity. We don't know, it's not named in the book or anything. And what we have here is bismuth and fern. And fern being quite an old plant, a prehistoric plant in a way, and a widespread plant that I think, I'm no biologist by any means, but I think in the times of the dinosaurs and so on, before the birth of mankind and of humans, fern was all over the place, I guess. So it's quite a primal quality and energy here with the fern and the bismuth. Then we start with your traditional fool, being represented by labradorite, and rubus arcticus, which is a form of raspberries. Labradorite with all the colors fits with the potential of the fool. Everything is possible, everything is reflected here. The magician, polybeside, I guess, is how you pronounce this crystal, and dogwood, being the magician. Benitoite, benitoite, not sure how to pronounce this, but benitoite and sage. So sage fits in a way with the high priestess because we have card number 2, so this would be the high priestess in your traditional tarot. And yeah, sage being a somewhat sacred plant, a typical cleansing plant, temple incense being made of sage, or sage being used to create some sort of holy space. And then this deep indigo, deep blue, benitoite, however it is pronounced or called correctly. But the book talks about this stone strengthening your intuition, your inner side, and color-wise this fits with the third eye chakra, the brow chakra, and all of that again links to the high priestess. With the Empress we get lapis lazuli and crocus, saffron here, of course, being a very precious spice in a way, and lapis lazuli being used as ultramarine, as royal blue, which isn't called royal blue for nothing, because this is quite an expensive pigment, and so all the lushness, all the royalty here, all the expensiveness quite fits with the Empress and of course also the crocus being a plant of spring, in a way of new beginning, new life, and lapis lazuli being in a way an embodiment of the night sky, the dark blue with the gold flecks here like stars. Reminding us of the Empress as Great Mother, being also the Queen of the Heavens. The Emperor is copper and eucalyptus, with its very, very sharp smell and aroma. The Hierophant, or High Priest, or Pope in more traditional historical decks, is staurolite and oak. So staurolite has this significant cross shape which links it to the Hierophant or Pope, and then the oak being a sacred tree to the Druids and representing strength and groundedness, which all fits with the High Priest or Hierophant, which is in the Golden Dawn system associated with the zodiac sign of Taurus. The Lovers, number 6 here, associated with hematite and pomegranate. Pomegranate, the red pomegranate, the apple of paradise in a way, linking this to Adam and Eve in one way. Also a symbol of fertility, of course, of seduction in a way, if we think of Hades and Persephone. The Chariot, quite interesting, with lodestone and jewel wheat. And the lodestone is a magnetic stone, and it can be used as a compass. So finding your way, which is part of the qualities of the Chariot, of course. Then we have Justice here. So Justice is 8 and Strength is 11 in this deck. We have Opal and Diaphilia, I guess. Not sure. And here again, like with the labradorite in a way, reflecting all the colors and all the facets of life, all the facets of a situation that have to be, taken into consideration to find your judgment, to make your decision or whatever. The Hermit is represented by anstatite and polylapis. I have to say, I'm not quite sure about both of these. So maybe we will leave this out, this card, and I will read from the book after the walkthrough. Amalite and Amaranth here. Amaranth being quite a widespread nurturing plant, and then the Amalite representing the circle of life. The shape itself resembles a spiral and a circle, like we would suggest from the wheel here, from the wheel card, but also these being animals, fossilized animals. The circle of life or evolution in a way. Strength or lust is topaz and aloe vera, with a very fiery glow of imperial or golden topaz, orangey warm color here. Also the flowers of the aloe vera, a strengthening plant, a cooling down plant. The Hanged Man with amber here, piece of amber with a mosquito, I guess, in the middle here, hanging upside down. Okay, so here you get a direct nod to the Hanged Man. And then Breezer, I have no idea. Aragonite and Ghost Pipe with death, and Ghost Pipe makes sense, of course. 14, Temperance or Art. Paparacha and Water Lily. Water Lily combining all the elements in a way, also having to do with the chakras, where again, if we combine energies like polarities of fire and water, the Kundalini with the two different strands or serpents here, from mud to light in a way, from earth through water to air and then light or fire. Real guard and hellbore for the devil. Libyan desert glass and fire lily for the tower. 16, which makes sense because fire lily, of course, there's fire in the name. And Libyan desert glass is, I guess, it's created when there's lightning striking sand in the desert. That's why it's called desert glass. And the enormous heat and the enormous energy through lightning hitting the sand creates this desert glass. Aquamarine and borage with the star, color-wise, it fits quite well. Aquamarine being a crystal associated with the higher heart chakra, with creativity, a soothing, calming crystal. Ilmenite, I guess, and Sirius for the moon. Chrysoberyl and olive for the sun. Olive here as a symbol of hope, and the chrysoberyl with its color and shape resembling a star of the sun. Then we get pearl and dew, quite interesting for the judgment or aeon card. Here, the pearl being created through suffering, through pain, and that all the beauty that's revealed if we go through the pain, through the process in a way. And dew, traditionally a tree associated with death, with transformation, with the afterlife, also reincarnation or past lives, being a very poisonous tree, but also a very, very old tree. And then the world card with tourmaline. Here exactly we have a watermelon, tourmaline, and orchids, because of the beauty of orchids and the different colors. And tourmaline again, mixing colors together, resembling the world with all its facets. Then we get into the fire suit or wands, which is called the suit of drive in this deck here. Sulfur and rowan being the 0 card of the fire wands suit. And then the first card here being the ace with torch lily and wolfenite, which makes sense, of course, the torch lily being or resembling a burning torch like the ace of wands. The 2 is appetite and strongyloden, not sure. Andaluzite and cottonwood is the 3 of desire fire wands. Spinel and bamboo being the 4. Obsidian and nettle being the 5. And if you think of the 5 of wands having to do with struggle, with strife, with conflict, obsidian and nettle fit quite well here. Ceresite, carasite, not sure. Alstroemeria. Crocoite and furs. Here very pointy, thorny, like the 7 of wands. Protect yourself, stand your ground. 8 being pyrite and ailanthus. 9, cinnaulite, I guess, and bloodroot. And bloodroot, I guess, I remember, if I remember correctly, in the book it says that bloodroot is traditionally used to cure wounds. That's why it's called bloodroot, or maybe red. Well, let us have a look. Why not? Let's have a look. Before I'm guessing here and maybe making things up or imagining things, we will have a look in a moment. So, bloodroot is named for its deep red, blood-like sap. So that is what we see here, the sap of the bloodroot. It contains a toxin which can destroy cells and tissues, causing skin to scab and scar. Okay. And the message is, a struggle and adversity have taken a second toll. However, despite the weariness, you remain steadfast and determined to see this through. The battle is not yet over, and a few more challenges may still present themselves, but you have what it takes to pass this test of your resilience and strength. So, traditional message of the Nine of Wands combined here with, in a way, the message of the plant and the crystal. The Ten of Wands, Shalkenthite, and Kutsu. Never heard this plant before, I have to admit. And then, okay, this is something I didn't mention before. So, in the different suits, there are no court cards per se, like, say, Page, Knight, Queen and stuff, but the numbers just go on. So 11 would be your Page of Fire or Wands in this case, or the 11 of Desire is the Page of Wands. Aventurine and Buttercup. The Knight here, in a way, being Spodumene, maybe, and Telencia. The Queen of Wands, of Fire, being Rainbow Lattice, Sunstone, and Strelitzia. So, and the Rainbow Lattice Sunstone, if you think of your traditional associations for the Queen of Wands, being bold, being temperamental, being fiery in a way, passionate, but also a lady or a person who is, well, who likes to be in the middle. And yeah, this fits quite nice with the quality or energy of the Rainbow Lattice Sunstone. All in all, I think, well, as mentioned before, you can use this as an oracle just to get a message from the stones or the plants or both, or maybe say, what crystal would help me with my process of XYZ, or what plant quality, and then even you can work with the crystal or the plant through visualization, through meditation and whatnot, or, well, really use the crystal, plant by the crystal, meditate with the crystal, wear the crystal on your body and whatnot. This is one aspect. The other is to see the correlations with the tarot, of course, also in a way like a sort of meditation. And all in all, this is quite a intuitive deck and system in a way, because as mentioned before in the book, there is no explanation whatsoever. There are descriptions of each of the cards, of each of the crystals and plants, but not a system per se being described. And, well, what does each crystal, just from the depiction here, from the beautiful watercolor art, or if you know the crystal, if you have the crystal, so the real physical crystal, what energy does this crystal have? What does it suggest to you? What feelings does it evoke? Like we did with the Queen of Wands, being a bold crystal here in a way, a sunstone, being golden and warm and shiny, and these qualities, how do they fit with the Queen of Wands here? Yeah, so this even works if you just want to use it as an oracle, or if you're not so sure about the correspondences with the traditional tarot, just go with what does the crystal, the plant, or maybe even the mixture of both of them, what do they evoke? What feelings do you get? What impressions? And how can that be, in a way, used to describe your situation, or maybe some way of working through one situation or problem or whatnot? Yeah. So all in all, a very intuitive approach here. 14 being the King, Cuprite, Cuprite, and Nasturtium. Nasturtium. Oh, sorry. I hope you are having fun out there watching this video and laughing at my mispronounced names. So here we have the water or cup suit. So again, we have a 0 card before even the ace of the suit. And this is muscovite and milkweed. Quite lovely here in this gentle pink tones. Then we have the Ace of Cups in a way, the Ace of Water or feelings and emotions. And then we get Peridot and Wisteria. Amazonite and Myosotis. Myosotis is Forget Me Not, if I'm not mistaken. So this would make sense with the Two of Cups. Don't forget me, I love you. Pesotteite. I have no idea what this even is. It looks beautiful, but I've never heard this stone or crystal before. And Tulsi for the 3 of Cups in a way. Whoops. 4 of Cups being Hanksite and Water Hyacinth. The 5 of Cups being Anhydrite, and Anemone. The 6 being Adderstone and Clover. So here we have no traditional crystal or precious or semi-precious stone, but rather a natural rock stone with a hole in it. So the Adderstone and Clover being a symbol of luck and sweetness in a way. 7, Stibnite and Cat. Iceland Spar and Wormwood as the 8 of Emotions or Cups. Emerald and Rose as the 9 of Cups. Emerald being a very precious stone, a very prominent stone. The lushness of the green heart chakra combined with the pink of the roses, 2 colors associated with the heart chakra, with our feelings and emotions. The heart representing beauty, so this here, traditionally 9 of Cups being the wish-fulfilling card. So here we get the precious emerald and the precious rose. And then the 10 of Cups being iris, agate, and flax. The page, knave, or princess of Cups being dioptase, oh my, and lily of the valley. Then we have the Knight of Cups being rhodochrosite and fir. The Queen of Cups being diaspore and magnolia, beautiful. And then gypsum, and laurel being the King of Cups. Then we move on to the suit of the mind, air, or swords in your traditional tarot. And the 0 is phosphophylite, I guess, and juniper. The ace of air, swords, or the mind is basite and daphne. The 2 is hemimophite, I guess, and bindweed, bindweed. The 3 is actinolite, and oleander. And this looks quite thorny and pointy here, like we would, in a way, metaphorically speaking, associate with the 3 of Swords. 4 of Swords being moonstone and poppy. Poppy makes sense, of course, opium, and, well, in a way associated with sleep and narcosis and all that stuff. And the 4 of Swords being the card of rest. The 5, Cinnabar and Blackthorn. 6 being amethyst and willow, which makes sense if you think of, this even looks like a little boat in a way. 6 of swords in the Rider-Waite-Smith tradition, of course, the boat on the water, moving to new land in a way, and amethyst is a crystal that's connected to the energy and quality of transformation, and the willow grows near waters and maybe even in the water. So here's the water connection. The 7, Hackmanite, I guess, and Belladonna. 8 being Tiger's Eye and Teasel. And this spiky teasel here makes a lot of sense if you think of the 8 of Swords. You have to fight your way through in a way and face it with the eye of the tiger, which makes me think of the title song from Rocky, of course. Aconite, Econite, and Cypress as the 9 of Swords. And then Euclase, and Asphodel as the 10 of Swords. Celestine and Pansy being the Page, Knave, or Princess of Swords. Fluorite and Coffee being the Knight of Swords. Yeah, always on the run. Lepidolite, and Gentian. I know the German word for it, but I'm not sure if this is pronounced correctly as Gentian or Gentian. Whatever. And then the King of Swords being Ice. Quite interesting. Ice being, of course, the crystallized form of water. And Edelweiss. Edelweiss, oh god. Again, a musical coming to my mind, or a song from The Sound of Music, of course. But yeah, quite nice. The Edelweiss, a symbol of purity, but also high in the mountains, like the ice here. So clarity, having a perspective above everything else. All qualities we can associate with the King of Swords. Also, of course, some sort of coolness. And then we move into the last suit here. The suit of, well, the earth, the pentacles, the discs, the coins. And the 0 card here is chalcopyrite, I guess, and grapes, the sweet grapes of earth, pleasures of the earth. And then for the ace of earth or coins or pentacles or discs, we get diamond, yes, and barley, earthy indeed. The 2 being Alexandrite and apple. 3, annihilate, I guess, and ivy, growing and growing. The 4 being gold and the Venus flytrap, which is quite interesting because, well, gold is on a material level what all people are searching for, even the alchemists trying to create gold. If we don't see the alchemical gold as a metaphor for a spiritual transformation. So looking for gold, and then also the fly trap, trying to catch things, to hold them, to grab them. All qualities we can associate with the 4 of Pentacles or discs from a Rider-Waite-Smith point of view, of course. I know if you read tarot numerologically, the 4 of Pentacles or discs is oftentimes more a symbol of material security, of financial stability. But reading this as some sort of a miserly person who is trying to grab everything and hold on to everything, Venus flytrap and gold fit quite neatly. 5, desert mistletoe and howlite. And desert mistletoe, okay, desert, barren land, 5 of Pentacles or discs. people outside in the snow. 6, citron and fetch, not sure about that. 7 being silver and cassava, not sure. The 7 being garnet and cherry, how beautiful. The 8 being turquoise and lavender, a calm mind. And when you've reached the 9 of Pentacles, everything is fine. The 10 being chalcedony and sandalwood. The page, knave or princess being malachite and sweet pea. The knight being circon and dandelion, of course. Oh my. Then we have tanzanite and fig for the queen. The fig being quite a, well, female sexual symbol. And then we get jadeite or jade and beet growing in the earth, representing the king of earth, pentacles, discs or coins. So there you have it, a walkthrough of this beautiful, beautiful deck. As mentioned before, if you feel drawn to this, go for it. It's so lovely. If you're a beginner, a tarot beginner, I'm not sure if this is your perfect first deck. Maybe if you're a little bit more experienced with tarot, but if you would love to use this as an oracle without any tarot background or tarot knowledge, that's fine. As said before, this one here, Anstatite and Polylepis, whatever, being the Hermit, trump number 9. We will check the book now. So you get a feel for the descriptions here. Okay. Polylepis or Polylepis or whatnot can also be called the paper tree. So here goes. Anstatite is right at home in the vast emptiness of space. Often found in meteorites, it is also a major component of many asteroids and has been observed in crystal form outside the solar system. So, hermit, get it? Polylepis is the highest altitude species of trees, well adapted to the cold, arid mountains of the Andes, like the hermit being in the mountains. It is pollinated by wind, animals and insects being scarce in this isolated environment, the hermit. Now for the message. This is a time for a retreat. Perhaps a period of isolation or deep introspection has already begun. The answers and experiences you need most at the moment are to be found within your own self, through solitude, reflection, or thoughtful observation. This stretch of road is meant to be walked alone, to reconnect with your inner voice and most personal guide. Your path is taking a shape as unique and real as yourself. Follow it with care and quiet confidence. It will not lead you astray. And then for the reversed meaning we get, a sense of loneliness or alienation may be wearing you down. Don't neglect your need for solace and support. Seek out gentle inspirations and the companionship of people who can offer a soothing presence without impeding your need for space and growth. So quite workable, useful messages, I have to say. Empathic in a way, messages. Even in a way healing messages, so it would work really nice as an oracle. Honestly, I like to work with this deck more, as mentioned, as a healing deck in a way, using my tarot knowledge in the cases where I'm not sure about the plant or the crystal, and I think it's quite fun and fascinating learning about the different connections here between the plant, the crystal, and the tarot archetype or quality. Yeah, just expanding my knowledge, the interconnected structure and correspondences of the tarot world with other systems, with the natural world in this case. I wouldn't, and I guess I will not really use this like I would do with a regular tarot and say maybe do a Celtic cross. I'm not sure I would do that, honestly. Maybe a 3-card, yes, but I'm not even sure about that. As of now, I just drew single cards. What can support me? What do I need to know? Something like that. Like, yes, more like an oracle on top of a 3-card reading with traditional tarot. Yeah, but you are, as always, free to do whatever you would like to do. So, as a final impression here, again, gold gilded. I'm not the biggest fan of shiny, fancy gold gilding, and it all already starts to wear out here because I'm a riffle shuffler, but I'm okay with that. This was my, in a way, explanation, review, and walkthrough of the Telluric Tarot by Lunaria Gold. As mentioned before, I will link her Instagram and her Etsy shop in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, feel free to leave a comment, share your experiences, ask me questions. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, of course. I'm Cards.n.Colors there too. And yeah, feel free to subscribe and yeah, activate the little bell. So, there you have it. Have a wonderful time. Stay healthy in the still challenging corona times. And yeah, looking forward to the next videos I'm going to post because there are quite a few new decks in my collection. Stay tuned.